Sometimes the things that get pilots in the most trouble are their instincts. Today, we're covering the fundamentals of collapse recovery so that you know what to do. Ready? Here we go. I'm an elite paraglider with over 3,000 flight hours and multiple distance records. Founder of the Paragliding Men's Group, where great pilots transform into greater men, partners, and fathers. Mastery in the sky begins with owning our shit on the ground, so if you're a man who wants it all, welcome home. What's up, everybody? This is Ari in the Air. Welcome back to the channel. Stoked you're here. Today, reviewing a video from a fellow YouTuber. His name is Dimitri. He does paragliding XC stories. He's an incredibly talented and articulate paragliding pilot. He's made awesome videos of how to do some of the milk run, amazing FAI and triangle flights in places like Bassano, Stubai, Colombia, all kinds of great places. He's a very good pilot and makes awesome videos. So check his channel out. I'll put the link in the description. Today, I got a video off his YouTube. He posted this collapse. Let's get right into this. We'll watch this one time. And I'm going to tell you what it is that he's doing that is very right and use it as an example to help you guys understand what the fundamentals of glider collapse recovery are. Okay, so a little horseshoe. Okay, seems pretty benign, but there's a lot of information in this video. Let's watch in slow-mo. Really symmetrical collapse, hands up, horseshoe, and it's recovered. I'm not sure what this glider is. Is this an epsilon? This is iota? This is a sigma? I don't know. Can't quite tell here by the video, but let's go back. What I want you to notice about this, the fundamentals of collapse recovery are also the fundamentals of paragliding. The glider goes back, you go hands up. The glider goes forward, you pull on the brakes. Okay. This clip actually gives us a decent look at what Dimitri is seeing. I think right here at the inception of the collapse, he's actually pulling on the brakes a bit, like it was bumpy air, and he said that this was in the lee side. So as the glider collapses, it is behind him. He cannot see it. We can basically tell that just by how his goggles are faced. He definitely cannot see the glider right now. He doesn't know exactly what configuration this thing is in. In that circumstance, there's no way for him to do early input. And so what does he do? He puts his hands up. And when we say up, I mean all the way to the pulleys. Look, his brake toggle is resting on the pulley right here. When he doesn't see it and he doesn't know what's happening, he goes hands up, all the way up. As he swings under the glider and he gets his eyes facing up towards the glider, this is like the fundamental thing. The sooner you can get your eyes on the paraglider, the better. The sooner you can get your eyes on the paraglider, the better. Because there's some times where hands up is a situation, and there's other times where, like in this case, you actually want to be banging both brakes symmetrically. But until you know what is happening, you can't pull on the brakes when the glider's behind you. You don't know what's going on. So he does the perfect fundamental, which is the glider disappears behind him. He goes all the way hands up, all the way brakes to the pulleys. The second thing is that he's racing his eyes to get his eyes on the glider as soon as possible, which simultaneously he's tilting his head back and he's swinging under the glider, which is going to put it more in his view, right? So once he sees it, he's basically looking at it at this point, right? And what's the configuration? We call this a horseshoe, leading edge to leading edge, because this happens because if we look at this configuration, pretty easy to tell, right? We got an open wing over here. We've got an open wing over here. What's going to happen when the lines get loaded? Both of those wings are going to fly. With the center not flying, what's going to happen? It's going to fly the wingtips together. It's a horseshoe. It's a really pretty benign configuration for a glider to go into. This is one of the original acrobatics maneuvers. If you just on a reasonable paraglider, if you reach up and grab the center A's and gently pull the center A's down, it will go into this configuration, and it's a relatively stable configuration for most three-liners. Anyway, it's a fun trick, but don't try it. So this is called a horseshoe. What needs to happen in a horseshoe is both brakes need to be pounded symmetrically. Okay, so this is another thing that Dimitri does perfectly. In this configuration, right here in this clip, we can see perfectly that A, he cannot see the glider. He does not know what configuration it is in. And B, his brake is in the pulley. You just have to do that. If you can't see it and you don't know what needs to happen and it's behind you in his collapse, you have to go hands up, okay? As he comes under the glider, now he's probably seeing it at this point. And you see the brake over here. He's got a little bit of brake pulled, and he's going to pull more of it authoritatively. He pulls hard on the brakes, both of them symmetrically. The glider opens up immediately. Okay? He flies away. I think he takes a collapse just minutes later because he's flying in the Lee. If the other collapse in this video was the one. So the three things here to summarize. If the glider disappears behind you and you can't see it, you got to go hands up. Hands up means hands up all the way, not a little bit of active piloting. That only makes it worse. 2, get your eyes on the glider as soon as you possibly can. And 3, when you know you need to make an input, make it with authority. If your glider horseshoes and you need to bang both brakes, bang the brakes with authority. You can pull an infinite amount of brake for a finite period of time and a finite amount of brake for an infinite amount of time. Sometimes when you need an input, you need a real input. It's not a half-assed little pump. It's not like a delicate little, it's like bang. All right. Thanks so much to Dimitri, first of all, for all of the amazing videos. I watched his Bassano triangle video and went out and flew it the next day and loved it, and for sharing this video with us and letting us learn from it. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure that you subscribe. Welcome to the peanut gallery that is my comment section. If you have paragliding questions, I'll answer them there. If you want to be a troll, I'll mostly ignore you. But thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.